Good morning. Hi, honey. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Haven't seen you for a while. How's work?
Work's going good.
We're doing
Yeah,
the live so that you and I can connect and talk
that's right.
every
So
day.
we can chat on how the family's doing and what's going on.
Just kidding. Just kidding. We're going to talk
No,
about weight loss.
yeah. Well, and first off, like, how fun is it to be back on doing lives? I
I know.
mean, clearly it's not our favorite topic at the moment with Amazing Race, but probably our second favorite topic that we keep getting asked about.
Yes.
I feel like when people were talking about the Amazing Race, they were clearly, frustrated about the twist that kind of took us out and how we probably could have gone a lot farther. We definitely felt like we had more to give.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah. But I feel like the question we get asked almost as often, if not maybe even more often, is like, how did you guys like lose so much weight? Was it for the Amazing Race?
Right.
Like, what was the whole, deal with that? So you had the idea of maybe we get back on our YouTube live since you're still restricted on Instagram. Tell me what happened
Oh
with
my
Instagram.
gosh. So right before it was announced that we were on Amazing Race, some dude in Africa took my Facebook and my Instagram and it was horrific. I didn't have it for 3
2
months.
months.
2
3
months?
months?
It seems like 5 years.
Yeah.
And it was like a couple weeks before Amazing Race was announced us. I was
Right.
just like, "Oh my gosh."
Well, and
Anyway,
I feel like it was like right around Black Friday. So there was a bunch of promotions you were going to try to tell your followers about,
yeah.
like with that. And
Yeah.
then
And it just
all the way through into when our season
well,
got
and when they
announced.
took it over, they changed so many things on it that they made it a minor account. So then anything I want to change has to go through Scott because he's my parent. It's a nightmare. So one of the things I cannot do for 365 days. So thankfully that's
Less now.
less now, but whatever it is. I can't go live on my Instagram. So normally I'd be going live on my Instagram. I have a lot more followers. I currently today have 22K. Woo, 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 woo.
22,000
That's amazing.
followers.
That last summer I had 10K we were at our annual family trip in Mexico, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have 10K, and it's like this huge celebration. It was freaking amazing. So that's why we're going live here. We probably will always go live here as well, just because it's a different platform and we do more family stuff and Amazing Race stuff here. But we'll probably do it both Instagram. And so when do I get that back? Do you know?
I think it's like 100 day. Like we might be at the 100-day mark. I'll have to double check. But what's nice about this platform that we use, it's called StreamYard.
Like 3 months though. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, about 3 months. Yeah. So we can actually go live both to our YouTube and Instagram both. So the hope is that we'll be able to do this next season, even with the Amazing Race season 38, and celebrate all the fun stuff. They're announcing
the cast in like 30
couple weeks, maybe.
No, a couple weeks, not even 30 days. It's like a couple weeks now. Anyways,
Yeah.
All right, let's go to talk about weight loss.
So these were the photos they shared on the show.
We lost a bunch of weight a while ago.
Right.
And then when Amazing Race happened, they're like, after it filmed, they're like, okay, can you send us a bunch of pictures? Well, all the family pictures we have, we're fat. And so we send them all these pictures and they're like,
who are these people?
Don't you have and I'm like, no, because my son just left for med school. My son was on a mission. Like there was all these things going on. Finally, when we got the family picture, I'm like to the producer, I'm like, okay, here it is.
We got a good one.
We've already wrapped. Done.
I'm like, finished editing.
Throw in one picture, Pat, please. And he's like, no, we really can't. And I'm like, son of a gun. So yes, all the pictures, which is fine. Like that's part of our story as well, is our journey of weight loss. We did not lose weight to be on the Amazing Race. Thank the Lord we did, because we would have been out first episode. There would be no way heavy we could have done.
Right.
It would actually been a lot more funny to watch us, because we would have been terrible. There'd been no way I could have done the bamboo thing. Anyways, so we did not lose the weight for the Amazing Race. It just happened to be about that same time or a little bit after that. But it became this big, huge thing on the Amazing Race because all of our pictures, they were like, I mean, obviously your children look different because they're getting older and taller. You guys look significantly different. Like, well, yes, we lost a little bit of weight.
Well, and again, I agree with you. You said this on our last live. We don't look terrible in that photo. I think we got good at hiding the weight maybe a little bit.
Oh yeah. Those pants are a 16 and that shirt is an extra, extra large. So yes. And you too. I mean, you can tell more in your face, in
Yeah.
your middle, but yeah, I don't think we look terrible. But yeah, my main size, and this is for as long as I can remember, obviously in college and in high school, I was probably a 10 or a 12. But I'm a big girl. Like I'm 5'11". I'm always a big girl. Like I accepted that and embraced that. And, having kids and it just kind of starts, little bit added on. And then I was in a 14 and then I was a 16, probably the last 10 years or so, 14, 16. I was like, I don't care if I can't fit into, I'm never buying a larger size than a 16. So I honestly never did. But the shirts would be an extra, extra large. My chest was humongous. I had huge boobs. Like everything was just big. I was just large. So, I started on the, I'll tell you about the shots here in a minute. But I lost 70 pounds in 9 months. And
Incredible. Well,
it
and
was incredible.
I think people should understand too, it never stopped you or I from still doing stuff. Like
Right.
if you know Lori and I, specifically Lori, she's a maximizer. She wants to do 850 things in a day, any trip that we're going on, like super active. Like this was a picture here on the left of us doing rim to rim in 2021, I believe, like right after COVID, and we were heavy.
Rim to rim. Let me just tell you, if you don't know what rim to rim is, it's 26 miles in one day. It can be 24 if you don't go to the waterfall. We did. We went to the waterfall 26 miles in one day. So you hike all the way down the Grand Canyon, all the way across the Grand Canyon, and all the way back up the Grand Canyon. And yes, we trained. We did tons of hiking. We didn't lose any weight by training. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why we didn't lose some weight. We were hiking a ton. We did a bunch of hard hikes, but then, we hiked this, started in the dark, ended in the dark. It took like
14 hours, I think
10 hours, some obscene, but we accomplished it. Like it was amazing. And we did it heavy. We did it. Like it was freaking amazing. But I did say, I'm like, I'm never doing this again because this was harder than giving birth. I'm never doing this again. And then I lost weight and I'm like, I think I want to try that again. And now I've done it several times after. It's still challenging. It's still hard. It's still taxing.
I think the term they use is soul crushing.
The very end. Oh my gosh. The very end is soul crushing. Those switchbacks, doesn't matter what your fitness level is. It's soul crushing, that ending. But then we were able to do it in less than 8 hours. We ended in the light. Like I was like, wait, people can end in the light. Like it was so trippy and mind blowing. But then like our bodies are amazing. Like it was such a amazing thing. Like we could do it heavy and accomplish hard things, but why make it so much more difficult on us? And
I think that was the realization. These other photos show us doing it again. That was us going south to north there in the middle, crossing the bridge. And then you did it again like 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
And with a group. But realizing like, this is still a hard thing to do. This was not easy feat, but so much easier as light as we were. And then it was like, why were we carrying around that weight for so long? Like, what was that about? You know? So
there's another hike story. So in Zion's, there is Angels Land or Angels Crossing.
Angels Landing.
Angels Landing. Right before you get to the Angels Landing part, like a normal hike, everyone can hike that. They also have these crazy switchbacks. Scott and I and our whole family did that when we were heavy. Every switchback, I would stop. And I was like, and then walk, and then switchback, stop, switchback, stop. We did it a couple of years ago. And I'm like, I'm going to try not to stop the entire time up or for the rest of the way up these switchbacks.
Right.
I mean, I wasn't fast. I wasn't like woo sprinting, but I did it. And I was like, oh my gosh, a huge accomplishment. So again, I did it heavy and I accomplished it. It was hard both times, but then I didn't stop. Like it was, and actually I did that on rim to rim too. The first time we did going up those switchbacks, it was so hard. And I was with a couple of my good friends and we were just like sitting, like, look at the stars. We were like, are we going to finish this? Like, how is this possible? Like, this is so hard. And then I did it I'm like, I'm going to try to do it without stopping the last 5 miles.
Yeah.
And I did it besides that one picture on that far left. Was that you or someone else I met took a picture of me? Other than that, I did not stop at the hardest part going up the Grand Canyon after hiking 19 miles. And then that, anyways, now this is becoming about hiking, Scott.
Yeah, true. No, that picture was when I hiked down from the South Rim and I met up with you just briefly. We snapped a quick picture and then you were right back at it because you're like, yeah, I don't want to stop. I want to finish this whole thing. I just want to
keep going. You're like, you haven't stopped. I'm like,
and I think that's one of the things I admire about Lori and I love so much is that once she gets it in her mind that she's going to do something, come hell or high water, she's going to accomplish that task that she's decided that she's going to do, no matter what it is. Well, it would be nice if it was easier, but
you know what it was? I was at that last water station before the last 5 miles, and I'm making an audition tape to be on Survivor.
That's right. I remember that.
Okay, Jeff, this is for you. I did this before, and it took me hours, and I'm going to try to do something really hard. I'm going to try to do it without stopping. I'm going to do this for you. So the whole time I'm like, I haven't stopped, Jeff. And I'm doing this audition tape and they still didn't call me back.
They didn't. Amazing Race did. They called us.
Amazing Race did.
Alex called us. So, but then I think the other thing that I really, really love about Lori is that it's never stopped her from ever being active in our family's lives and the lives of our kids, doing hard stuff. Like she's the example of like, it's not hard to be a fun mom. Like you might be a little heavier. You may not love the idea of being in a bathing suit or whatever. Like these next photos, she's going to be mortified. I'm sharing, but it's again, part of our story. It's part of like what happened, but you were asked to be a swimsuit model. Is that right?
Well, in a roundabout way. There was this company, Graham Swim, who had a bunch of cute 20 and 30-year-old hot little ladies. And the owner was like, we need to find a couple older ladies. And my friend Alyssa was like, I know an older lady. Like all my good friends, besides my best friend, Michelle, all my really good friends are like 35. I just turned 50. So they're like, hey, want to come to this retreat? And we're going to be taking some pictures, but it's like this retreat and da-da-da. And I'm like, oh yeah, fun. I'll do this. And then they're like, here's your bathing suit and you're going to be modeling. Not my favorite thing. Again, I'm very confident. I can do that. It's fine. I didn't feel extremely comfortable. I wouldn't be like, please put this out on your, everyone's social media. No, thank you. Like that's not great. But I am so thankful I had that opportunity because, especially as a mom, I'm taking all the pictures of the kids as they're growing up. I'm not in as many pictures. And there's a lot of times the pictures of me with my younger kids, I am heavy and kind of like, I want to be covered up by my children because I don't want to show my heaviness or my, my body at the time. But again, I'm so thankful for this opportunity because I would not, if we're on vacation, Scott's like, babe, stand right there with your bathing suit. I've been like, no, thank you. Like, let's do a selfie or chest up, please, or something. Like I would have never done that. But because we're here with 30 women and doing this, totally out of my
comfort zone. Right.
Again, I'm positive and outgoing and confident, 100%. But in a tiny little bathing suit, no, thank you. And that's not even a tiny bathing suit. But in my head, I'm like, that's a tiny bathing suit. But also after losing weight, again, thinking this is in your mind for sure. Amazing Race is like, oh, a week before we have to leave. Oh, by the way, bring a bathing suit. I'm mortified. I'm like, amazing. We have to be in a bathing suit on national TV. But I was much thinner and much stronger and much healthier. Again, it's in your head.
And I remember you sending me these photos at the time and I'm like, oh, baby, that's hot. Because again, I love my wife. Like, I think she's beautiful. I'm so excited about everything, but then when you went back looking for other swimsuit or photos, like you said, in our collection of all of our family adventures and stuff, this was all you could find.
Those were the only 2 pictures of me in a bathing suit coming out of the water from boogie boarding or something that I could find. And I know exactly what those bathing suits. So it's always the skirt bathing suit to cover up some of the stomach area, but also the legs. Again, that's fine. If you want to wear a cute little skirt, I'm not trying to shame anyone of the style of bathing suit anyone's going to be wearing.
What you felt comfortable in that.
But I felt way more comfortable in that because it kind of covered a little bit more area. I actually still have some that fit me in my size. I still love them. They're absolutely adorable. But my mindset here is I'm trying to cover as much as I can. Now, I mean, even like the blue one, I know I was nursing one of my kids. My chest is humongous. But that top, I remember it was, oh, what's the store in the mall for plus size? I can't, starts with a T. Anyways, I got that there. And I remember going, oh my gosh, I have to go into the fat store. I know, I'm sorry I'm saying that. That sounds so awful. But again, in my head, I'm like, I'm never buying a higher, remember, I'm not buying a higher number than 16. In my head, I'm like, because that's considered fat, not me, right? I'm like, it's all in your mind.
Yeah, it's mental.
So I had to buy that one, or I bought that one, and I loved it. It was so cute. No, doesn't look so cute now, I don't think. I thought I looked cute in that pink one. I was like, whoa, my cleavage, that's a little risque. That's cute. Look at that cute color. I mean, it's all, again,
we love you in that color, team pink. But again, this is like you boogie boarding with the kids, or this is you snorkeling with the kids. Like, again, it never, the idea of being in a bathing suit never stopped you from being active and doing things in our kids' lives. And your activity didn't, I think, diminish either. I mean, you were super outgoing, super active, but the only time you ever lost weight was like when you had a baby, right? Because we have big babies.
Right.
So
I've never technically been on a diet. I never tried dieting. I loved food too much, but then I also felt like because I was active, like it was just like hormonal or something in my body. Like I didn't know what it was, but I never like tried to be on diets when so many of my friends were on this, that, or what the other diet, like just eat salad diet or whatever. Right. Just like there's so many diets and fads. I never did that. Again, I never lost any weight except when I gave birth to children. And I'm not kidding, like not even 5 pounds. Like I would never be able to lose weight ever, ever, ever. And so how my weight loss journey started was
I gotta show these. Sorry.
Well, now I don't mind being in a bathing suit. I'm a little bit more confident.
Yeah. So,
but again, I'm not in a tiny little 2-piece. I maybe I could be, but I'm not. That's just not my personality. I'm not, even though I have lost weight and I'm strong and healthy. Right. I'm not. You know, I'm still in the good old cute 1-piece. And that's not it. That's not anything in my head. That's me personally. I feel more confident in a 1-piece. Anyways.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think too, just the confidence there was there before, but a lot easier for you now to be even more confident in your skin and even more confident with like activities and stuff that you're involved in. I mean, you can see it. You're radiant, beautiful, active, awesome. But okay, let's talk about the actual shots. Let's talk about what started this whole thing.
Yes. So it was a few years ago. I went with my best friend. She was considering to get a mommy makeover. So we go to the plastic surgeon or the plastic surgeon. And he's like, okay, so what you guys want to do is lose as much weight as you can before surgery, and then we can take off more skin. And we were like, no, Sherlock. Like, we're like, you idiot. Like, seriously, Michelle and I are like looking at each other like, well, duh, if it was that easy, we would have. Like, hello, like, what are you talking about? And he was like, oh, no, there's this shot. He was doing the semaglutide shot. So he's like, there's this product called semaglutide. You can take these shots once a week. It'll help you lose weight. Like if you have and you're talking to Michelle, if you have your surgery at this time, you probably can lose, 20 pounds, if not more, if we push your surgery back, like however you want. And we were just like, so then we leave and Michelle and I are like, there's no way. How have we never heard of this? There's no way. This is not a thing. So Michelle goes home and does research. I come home, I do research. I'm talking to Scott. Well, we have a friend, Dr. Larson, who is a Salt Lake City med spa. And we were like, do you know about semaglutide? Like, what is this? And he was like, oh yeah, I've heard of it. It's great. But I use this product called Trulicity. In the same family, it's like weight loss shots. And I'm like, I want to get on it. It was $50 a shot. Now, Scott's got a great job. Well, but I was like,
semaglutide at the time was going to be more. So Trulicity actually was a good deal for us compared to what
but one shot a week
cost us. Yeah.
That's a lot of money. Like I was like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, oh, and by the way, I'm leaving for Hawaii for 4 weeks. How do I do this? And he's like, you just take it, put it in a little ice pack on your flight, and then put it in the fridge. Done. Well, in Hawaii, there is literally no scales anywhere, at least not in the Airbnb we were staying at. And we're in a bathing suit all day, and we're like traveling the island, and we're surfing, and we're rock climbing, and we're
and
snorkeling.
eating at all the places.
And we're eating. Yes, we're trying everything and doing everything because we're here for a month. We're here with the entire family, all 10 of us, enjoying Hawaii. And I have no idea. And actually, in Hawaii, we did make another audition tape for Survivor, including all my kids. It was super cute. Anyways, they never called me back on that one. No, they did. That was the one they called me back on. Survivor.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
That's the one they called me back on. Anyways, then I get home and I'm like, I mean, I think these bathing suits seems a tiny bit, but I have no idea. Like I couldn't even bet you $5 if I had lost weight or not. Get on the scale. I'm down 20 pounds. And I'm like, wait, how did that happen? I literally did nothing. I was on vacation in Hawaii. How is all I did was the shots. I did not care. Now the doctor did say, try not to eat so much of the starchy stuff, like the potatoes, the rice, the pasta, that kind of stuff, chips. Now my favorite food is potato chips. Like, well, one of them, I have several. So again, I would try to eat like a handful. So I was kind of, but not, it wasn't like, I can't eat this because of my diet. Right. I did not say that. I did not act that way.
And to be fair,
I ate the pizza. I did all the things in Hawaii.
But I mean, we were also active. Like we were going to the beach. We weren't just laying around all day. Like we were hiking. We were shelf hunting, sea glass hunting. Like there was a lot that we were doing. So we were physically active. But like, I think what Lori's trying to get at was it wasn't like a disciplined regimen. Like for that 4 weeks, she wasn't like working out twice a day, eating a strict diet food. Like it was really whatever we could get our hands on food wise, because we were having fun. We were having vacation.
And we were trying all the different places around the island.
And this was the last vacation before Tyler left on his mission, 2022. So
So I was shocked. I was like shocked. And I'm like, I don't think that our scale is correct. Like our scale's wrong, clearly, because that could be the only logical explanation of this. So I go into Dr. Larson and 20 pounds, like that is crazy pants. And honestly, I think it was like 18. I think it was almost 20. I can't even remember. I have it written down somewhere. I should double check that. And it was about 20 pounds. I go in there and he's like, okay, I found something better than Trulicity. What could be better than 20 pounds in a month? And he's like, okay, there's this company or this new product called Mounjaro. Actually, not a new product. It's been around for a while. It's just now focused more on weight loss. It's the same concept.
Sorry, no, not yet. This was the first version of tirzepatide, Mounjaro, and it was being developed for diabetics, but we both got on it during the trials when it wasn't yet restricted to only diabetics. So we actually were fortunate enough to get on this coupon where we were getting Mounjaro for $25 a month because they were trying to develop it for diabetes, but they were seeing so many great results for weight loss as a result of attempts to try to control diabetics that they were like, oh my gosh, we should market this differently. So later they would spin it specifically only for weight loss and call it Zepbound. But sorry. Keep going.
Mounjaro has been around for a long time.
Right.
And as a medication for diabetics. So that's what I was saying. It's been around for a long time, but Dr. Larson was like, okay, I feel like you need to switch to this one. It's the same concept. It's the shot once a week, the same kind of a thing. So started doing that. And then it was a couple months later, then Scott started doing them because I was having so much success on my weight loss.
Yeah.
And I was taking the shot. Again, this was a few years ago. I took the shots for 9 months and I lost 70 pounds. Now, since then, I haven't taken any of the shots. Mounjaro is like, it's not a thing for weight loss anymore because it's so hard to get. That company has changed it to Zepbound, what Scott just said. Anyways, that's extremely expensive medication. And so I just was like, I feel like I've lost weight. I'm good. I'm done. I'm just going to stop taking the shot because I can't get it for the cheap price anymore. Right. I'm good. And I just stopped cold turkey. So a lot of people are like, did you gain all your weight back? Like they're nervous to take the shot. They're nervous to get off the shot. They're nervous. There's like all these things. So Scott started on the shots and he was very successful. How long did you take your shots for?
I think I took it for over a year. I took it probably up until a few months before, mostly because we got it for that full year at that. So I was going to keep taking it, anyways. And then about the time we went on Amazing Race, was also about the time that our coupon was running out. And so it was, I was in the same boat as you. I wasn't going to pay $350, $500 a month to keep taking this. And I was close to my goal weight, not quite where I wanted to be, but it was good. I lost a ton of weight, which is nice.
And two of my really good friends were on semaglutide. So again, all of these are kind of in the same family. And one friend took it for like over a year, never had any side effects, lost a bunch of weight, loves it. The other friend took it for about 6 months, lost a tiny bit of weight, didn't have any stomach issues or anything, but just I was like losing so much weight, and she was just like, what the heck? Like, this sucks. So then she switched to Mounjaro, and then she dropped a bunch of weight, and she now just does maintenance. She just takes shots like once a month. Anyways, we'll talk about that in a second. So I never took semaglutide. I've heard that semaglutide makes a lot more stomach issues and nausea and all of that stuff. Sometimes it works better for others. Sometimes it doesn't. I just know my story and my history. Mounjaro worked fabulously for me. I had zero issues with it and loved it. So that now brings us to, you can't get Mounjaro, but this is what you can get.
Yeah. Well, and I also think it's exciting for me. So my background before medicine, so I work in the emergency room as a physician assistant, but my undergraduate program was in biochemistry, molecular biology. Yeah. So I've always been fascinated by peptide chemistry, how stuff works, if there's a more natural approach to kind of, doing things with the body. Like, I'm fascinated by that kind of stuff. And so when I was hearing about the GLP-1, agonist, so essentially the way the semaglutide works is GLP-1 acts on a receptor that slows or delays emptying of the stomach. And so the way that functions is to help you feel full faster, and also slows down kind of the whole GI motility of things. So there are some gastrointestinal side effects that can come with that. So some people get nauseous. Some people might even throw up a little bit or get constipated or diarrhea, depending upon a dumping process that might happen, in the body. But amazing job at controlling blood sugars. And then all of a sudden they were noticing that their people that were on this medication were experiencing an average of 15% weight loss, which for diabetics is huge. Like, if we're trying to control blood sugars, like, that's going to be awesome. But as a result of it, that was also experiencing some of these side effects and things. Well, then this other medication comes out that does two different things. It still does the GLP-1, but now with tirzepatide, we're getting a GIP agonist. And so what that medication is doing, it's acting on a center in the brain that controls satiation of appetite. So this is that thing that like drives cravings. Like when you're like, I want a snack, every time I'm watching TV, I want to like eat a bag of chips or put my hand in a bowl of popcorn. Like, all those cravings that happen are as a result of that area of the brain. And so this medication was acting on both of those centers. So you're feeling full faster, but then you're also not hungry. And it was crazy when we were on that medication.
That was the trippiest thing. Like, even more trippy of coming back from Hawaii and have already lost 20 pounds by doing nothing, was because I felt like I was always eating. I wasn't necessarily like starving, but I was always eating, and I never was full. Like, I always say the Cafe Rio salad, like, those big, huge salads. Oh, I could pound that, no problem. And like an hour later, let's have a snack or let's have something else. Like, I was constantly eating. So when having these shots, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's 2:00 in the afternoon. I haven't eaten a single thing. I'm not hungry at all. That was weird.
Yeah.
And I literally had to set an alarm at first to eat, because that's not healthy not to eat.
Right.
So then I had to like train myself to do that. But then I would eat like 4, 5, 6 bites, and I'm like, I'm full. And I'm like, how is that possible? Because that was the trippiest thing. How can you be so full? I've eaten this much food, like the palm of my hand. Like, that's insane. And that was a great eye-opening thing for me now, especially now off the shots. Our bodies don't need as much food as we think they need. Like, we're just like, going to the buffet and like loading our plate. Our bodies do not need that much food to function healthy or not. Like, I'm not saying like all the healthy, like cheeseburger, we still don't need the entire cheeseburger. It could be half a cheeseburger, we'll be full. Like, our bodies don't need that much food. It was such a eye-opening thing for me. Anyways.
Well, and I think we'll get to this in a minute, because I think this is the big part of why you felt like this was such an important part of your weight loss journey. Was it wasn't a diet for you, it was a lifestyle. Don't talk about that yet. Let me finish up here. But I think that's an important principle for people to understand. With the GLP-1 and the GIP activity, that dual agonist, we're getting better weight loss. So on average, we're seeing 20 to 25% weight loss for these patients, for the people that are on this, medication, and less of the side effects, because it's not so focused on the gut GI motility stuff. There's other areas too. And so as a result of that, people are liking this medication a lot better. Now, granted, semaglutide still a little bit more of a cost-effective approach. And so that's why a lot of people gravitate towards it. It's the cheaper option. But for us, the tirzepatide, I think it was the reason why it was so successful for us was because of how things
and
were
that's Mounjaro.
Right.
That's why you're like, people are like, wait a minute, you said you're on Mounjaro and this is a different, that is the same thing. It has the two components to it when the semaglutide. So yes, you can take semaglutide and you may or may not have issues. You could take the tirzepatide and may or may not have issues. Everybody's bodies are going to be differently. When my friend took the exact same medication I was taking, I lost weight so much faster. It totally just depends. Like your chemicals in your body, your weight, your height, your age, your gender. Like there's so many things that come into play that like if people are like, well, how fast will I lose weight, or how much weight can I lose, or it could take you a year. It could take you 3 months. Like hopefully it doesn't take you 3 months because that might be unhealthy. But if you only have 10 pounds to lose, great. Like and that's another thing I love about this medication. I've had friends that are like, I just need to lose 10 pounds. They're on it for 4, 5, 6 weeks. They've dropped the 10 pounds. I've had friends on it that needed to lose 100 pounds and they've been successful. Lost it. So which one's going to work better for you? I don't know. Like if you want to try the semaglutide and see if that works for your body and it works, fantastic. If you want to try this, like it's just, there's so many pros that it just depends upon your body and what you're going to be doing.
Well, and I think there's an element too with Lori's experience that I think needs to be pointed out. And that's that she wasn't watching the scale every day during those first 4 weeks, because we couldn't. Again, Lori said there literally wasn't a scale available to us while we were in Hawaii. But I think sometimes what happens with people is that those first week or two, they're on the medication, they're watching, anticipating that significant weight loss. They're experiencing some of this GI side effects because maybe they're on the cheaper option with the semaglutide. And they're like, I don't know if this is worth it. I'm not seeing the weight loss I was expecting. I feel like crap, maybe because of some of these GI side effects. And what you need to understand is that your body's adjusting. Your body's experiencing a new material it's not used to. It's learning chemical. Thank you. And it's learning to adjust. And for some people, and this was the case with me, your body goes into what it thinks is starvation mode. It thinks that, oh my gosh, Scott's an idiot again. He's on another one of these fad diets. Because I was like on a cookie diet, I think, at one point. That was kind of silly. But the recognition that, oh, we might not get to eat again for a little while because the portions have gone down from what they were before and the body's freaking out. And so you go into this, like, we need to hold on and store everything we possibly can because we don't know when Scott's going to finally start eating again, and then we can let it go. But then once we get past that, all of a sudden the body's like, oh, this is actually okay. We can survive. This isn't the end of the world. Like, let's start getting rid of some of this stuff. And so now it starts to dump some of the weight. And I think that's going to happen more around the 2-3 week mark. Once you're up to the right dose that fits for you, all that stuff that we can talk about kind of more later. But tell them about lifestyle. Like, I feel like that's huge for your story.
Yeah. So I never, like I said earlier, I never have been on a diet. Like I never wanted to do something for a short period of time, even if I could lose a bunch of weight, because I knew I would gain it back if I was like, you can never have a potato again the rest of your life, whatever it is. Like you can never have sugar, whatever that is for you. And I didn't want to do that. I want it to be a lifestyle change. So if I wanted that cheeseburger, if I wanted those French fries, whatever, I wouldn't eat the whole basket of them. You know, I would have just like a small handful of them so I could have them still, but I just wouldn't eat as much as I normally would. Same thing with candy, soda, whatever it is. Now it sounds like I just eat junk food. I do eat good food as well. But again, I would would just watch what I ate. Like if I was like, oh, I really want some ice cream with some chocolate syrup, then I would have like a smaller scoop and I would just eat that. And then I'd be like, oh, hit the craving, just a smaller portion. It was perfect. So I never was overeating. There was only a couple times that I would eat a little bit too much of the starchy stuff and I would have a stomach ache. That was the only side effect that I ever had on the shots. And that was just a few times and it was 100% my fault. But getting off the shots, again, getting that Cafe Rio salad, knowing I'm not on the shots anymore. I'm knowing I don't have to eat this whole thing. And then I would eat, a third of it, half of it, and be like, I'm good. Even if I wasn't like, I am full, but I know in my mind, I'm like, I am good to eat this. Same thing with the other snacks. Like I could have a little piece of candy or a little thing of this. I don't have to eat the whole bag of it. I don't have to eat more than how I was eating before. And that's what's helped me keep my weight off. Now, I'm being 100% honest. I did absolutely nothing besides take the shots and kind of watch what I ate when I had lost 50 pounds. So at my 50 pounds, I was like, I probably should go to the gym. I probably should add.
You had a membership.
Yeah. I have a membership. I never go. I probably should do something. So at my 50 pounds, I went to Planet Fitness. Now, you don't have to have a gym membership to lose weight. Planet Fitness is $10 a month, folks. Like it is super cheap. But you could go in your kitchen and take a can of soup, a jug of milk. You don't have to go to the gym. But I went to the gym. But if you know Planet Fitness, you know that like the old people section in the back where that like little circular thing is. That's what I did. I was like, I would do the treadmill, slogging on the treadmill a little bit, but then I would just do the circuit of those 3 sets, like 8 or 10, whatever the things were. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I could see definition in my arms. And I was like, oh my gosh, in my legs. Like it was like, wow, my body is changing. Yes, I was still losing weight, but my body was changing. And by the time I got to my 70-pound weight loss, I was just like, amazing. So my body at 70 pounds weight loss, right when I lost the 70 pounds. And then my body just still at 70 pounds, but going to the gym a few months later, completely different body. Like it was crazy how my body was still changing and I wasn't technically losing any weight, but because I was going to the gym. And then I started like looking out and being like, okay, I can try that machine. And then I would try like one of the harder machines or like, what are the machines that the guys are on? Like I would try those, or my teenagers would come with me and like help me figure out how to do these other things. Or if I'm like, I really want to work on this part of my arm, like my kids would like help me. So now I'm like in the gym doing other stuff or free weights, and my body was completely changing still and I wasn't losing any more weight. It was just the fat conversion was changing to more muscle. So I'm just trying to tell my story. I never wanted it to be a diet. I wanted it to be a lifestyle change. And that's why I feel like I have been successful. Now, obviously there's going to be days where I'm like, oh, I overate, or I ate too much, or I chose, too many sweets or whatever. And then I'm like focused like on the next couple of days. Okay, let's dial the crazy down. Let's eat a little bit better. And so I keep staying focused on that lifestyle. And it's been super successful for me.
And I think that's why you're not seeing the bounce back where you're gaining a bunch of weight back, is that you did treat it like a lifestyle change. You changed the way you approach your day, the way you plan your meals, and it's not like you're a meal prepper. Like you don't make your 7 days worth of meals and put them in the refrigerator. Again, no shame if you do that.
You do that, and
that can help you with discipline.
Yeah.
But Lori just adjusted how the whole thing went, and that dominoed into the rest of the family, with the rest of us eating the same kinds of things and the same, portions, and just learning.
If you all of a sudden are like, I'm just having a banana and a handful of almonds in the morning, and at lunch I'm having a side salad, and at dinner I'm having a chicken breast with a vegetable, and then you do that and you lose a bunch of weight, and then you're like, all right, back to pizza and cheeseburgers. Well, you're going to gain your weight back, period, end of story. So I still try to eat healthy, but I still don't restrict myself from anything. I just try to enjoy life, because I do love food and I want to enjoy all the food, and I just have little nibbles and bites of them.
Well, I want to get to some of these other awesome effects that are happening with the medications.
Oh yeah.
But I want to do that more in the question and answer session. Okay. I want to briefly just tell people about this awesome sale that's going on. right now, Ellie MD. So Ellie MD is a company that we came across recently, and we've been exposed to lots of stuff. Like Lori's done her research. Talk to you a little bit about like just
So a lot of companies have reached out and wanted me to sell their products. I've done a lot of I continue to do research because I know that products are changing. There's drops now, there's stickers, there's the semaglutide, there's so many different things out there. And what I've also been researching is not just the pharmacy, the place that they get the product before the pharmacy. Like, I just want to know where the product's coming from and who's doing what. There's a company, I won't say the name, that they're not 100% with their, like, sometimes their product works great and sometimes it's like the batch is off a little bit. And I'm like, why would anyone want to spend money and go to that one place? So when these companies reach out, or when I'm searching different companies and I'm like, I don't want to have anything to do with that because they use that company and their product is always 50-50. So that's why when I came in contact with Ellie MD, I'm like, I had so many questions. Like I talked to the higher ups and I'm like, you need to like pass this test of questions. I'm going to
the Lori test.
Yeah. Like, what's the compound place from? Where's this? And they were like, wow, you really know your
a lot
stuff.
about
I'm like,
this
absolutely. Like, one, I'm not going to put it in my body. And two, I'm not going to tell my friends about it if I don't know that it is 100% like up to par with me, you know? So something else I love about this company, not only that the pharmacies and the compound places, now I have not researched, they service everyone in the United States. I've only researched the compound place and the pharmacy that would do Idaho, Utah, Arizona, I think Colorado, just my little area. Like, I could search everything for you guys. I haven't. So if you do live in a different state and you're like, will you make sure it's not that one company? I will do that for you. I just haven't because I'm like, I don't know anybody that's really interested. But I know for me, Ellie MD does use the right pharmacy, uses the right place of the compound before it gets the product, before it gets to the pharmacy, like all of that stuff, which I love and appreciate.
And that's huge into like the potency of it, the efficacy of it.
Yes.
You know, how long it lasts once it's reconstituted and refrigerated and all this kind of stuff. So the medication will always work, but it might lose some of its efficacy, like how well it works.
Right.
As it ages. And so that became a very important thing that Lori became aware of, because we've been in this industry for so long, because of our own experiences, that, you know, that's the reason why people were doing so well on the Manjaro,
because it was not a compound.
Like FDA regulated. It's like individual pins, like everything is as potent as it possibly can be. And a lot of these mixed results as a result of compounding have been because there's corners that maybe get cut, or you can't get all the medication out of the bottle at the end, or, you know, just various little things like that. So we've figured out some of those nuances, and we really feel like Ellie MD is serving up one of the best versions we can possibly if not the best version, right?
And the owner of Ellie MD is a biochemist, molecular biologist as well. Like, she, like so me. Her name is Honey. I always think Honey, like Honey, not that she's from a different country, or the name is from a different country, but she is freaking amazing. So she's not in it to just make money. Like some of the farms are, you know, the pharmacies are just like money. Like these products, and it's not
such a fad right now.
Yeah, it's not like the fad. It's not just the GLP-1 or the semaglutide. It's also, there's a sex one, there's a longevity one, there's a brain, like she offers there's so many amazing peptides out there. And she really focuses on,
I mean, their catalog is massive.
They're awesome. They're amazing. I haven't tried any. I am going to get back on the shots for the maintenance, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But the other shots we have not tried yet. We've ordered some and they haven't come in yet, but we're excited to try those. Scott's on this and doing well.
Yeah, so this is a super awesome special that's going on right now with Ellie MD. One of the reasons like it kind of pushed us to get back doing these lives was we were like, we want to let more people know about this. So there's special pricing right now on the tirzepatide. This is the better version, the dual agonist, like we were talking about, but they're offering this special pricing that's getting it very close to what the semaglutide price would be. So here's an opportunity to try the better product at a cheaper price, get the experience of what this thing offers and
Right.
start your weight loss journey, you know. And Lori and I, what I love about Lori is she's like the greatest cheerleader I think out there. She wants to champion women, champion stories, be a part of your story. And so like we want to hear about, you know, what you're doing, what your experiences are, what you're seeing,
And
because it's so
I
rewarding.
still get people 1, 2, 3 times a week messaging me on DMs on Instagram like, I lost 20 pounds, or I lost 50 pounds, or I lost 100. I just got my tummy tuck because of you. Like, I'm like, yes, I love this. Or people are like, I lost 10 pounds and now I haven't lost any weight. It's been a month. What should I do? Like, I'm there to help them. I'm not a doctor. I just give you my advice. Yeah, you could talk to my husband then. I give you advice and information. Now, I have gotten a lot of what happened with Dr. Larson. I absolutely love Dr. Larson. He uses the great products. If you are local and you want to go in his office and have a doctor face to face, absolutely go to Dr. Larson with Salt Lake City Med Spa. Love him. Love everything about his product, who he is as a person, the company, everything. It's just he's not able to send them out through throughout the United States. So that's why I was trying to find a different company that could offer that. Like, honestly, this is what I would do. I had a few friends in California. I would go into Dr. Larson's office, get their product, repackage it, and mail it to California, because he couldn't technically do that per something law. There's all these weird laws. And so I'm like, there's got to be a better way, because I'm sick of going to the post office for my friends, but I would do that because I'm a cheerleader and I want you to succeed. So that's another reason why I found this company. So yes, if you're local and you're like, I need to have somebody that I can go into his office and look face to, go to Dr. Larson, Salt Lake City Med Spa. It's going to be a little bit more expensive, but you will have that one-on-one with him, like physically in the room. Now with Ellie MD, you do get the opportunity to talk to a doctor as well. It's just on a Zoom call, and it would be a more local doctor, not necessarily in Salt Lake, but it would be a doctor within this region. So if you're in whatever, Mississippi, like you're going to have somebody in that area. So they're all over the United States. Another reason why I love
50 states covered with Ellie MD.
Yeah. So if you're interested in this, you do have to fill out.
It's a questionnaire. It's a health questionnaire.
It's more than a questionnaire. What is it called? They do it for. Well, keep talking and I'll find it in my notes. Okay. It's right over here.
Well, I was going to tell people that in the description for this live, we've got 2 different links. So the first link that you'll see is the link where you can click on to buy the product, to get involved with Ellie MD. And what's great about it is it's going to put you in under us. So we're going to get a chance to watch you, see how things are going, check in with you. Like, we're going to be your team cheerleaders. And so it's such an interesting, unique opportunity to make sure that you incorporate yourself through us, because we can provide that support. You know, Lori's going to be there to answer questions. I can help from, you know, kind of a medical perspective, which is super helpful. But then also there's a second link there, and we're probably not going to have time to talk about it very much, but there is an opportunity for those who want to participate. They can join our team, which is more from the affiliate side of things. So if you want to like promote this to your friends and share your weight loss journey with other people, you know, super awesome program. There is commissions that are paid where you can supplement some of the cost of what you're having to pay, you know, for your own weight loss journey. Super awesome, you know, cool thing that's kind of going on. But there is this whole microdosing.
Wait, before microdosing, I found it. So if you're interested in buying this product, you fill out a medical assessment form.
Oh, okay.
So when people are asking, how is the, like, don't you have to get a prescription for this? Right. Yes. So your medical assessment form has to be filled out and turned in. And then Ellie MD will either approve you or deny you. There are a few medications, it's rare, but there's a few medications that conflict with this, and that if you're on it, like a thyroid sub, anyways, there's a few things. If you're something with those, they'll deny you, but most of them are approved. And that's kind of like the doctor assessment, the medical assessment. So like your doctor's approval, and that's what starts the process. And then you can order. And then you also have the opportunity to meet with doctors on a Zoom type of a call if you have questions. If you don't get on with the doctor, on the Ellie MD website has all the information of like how to find out what your dose would be if you're doing it for weight loss or microdosing, whatever it is. Also, Scott and I are a huge tool that we can help you with that as well. But did you want to talk about the microdosing now, babe?
Well, I guess first off, we've been talking for a long time. If anybody has any questions, drop them in the chat. We'd love to throw them up on the screen and use it as kind of a template to answer questions that maybe you guys are already having. So feel free to participate with us on this live by doing that. We do have a bunch of questions that Lori's already gotten because she's been throwing it up
I
on
have
her stories.
Instagram.
When she shares on Instagram, you must get 15, 20 messages almost every time of people telling their testimonials, which is super awesome. But then also questions they have because they're nervous. They don't want to start. They don't know how to approach this,
So I did learn about a year ago that this medication is not just for weight loss. Like there is so much more to it. And so after people have lost weight, they actually should remain on it. For a couple of reasons. One, for like maintenance. So like one of my friends takes a shot once a month just so she doesn't like gain the weight. She just like just wants to make sure she just is staying steady. And so she does that for maintenance. This company calls it microdosing, with that same concept where you just take either a really small dose once a week or every couple weeks, just so you're not losing, or sorry, not so you're not gaining that weight back. But then there's a whole other, and I feel like it's a way more important thing that I've been learning about this last year. And that's why I'm going to start back on the shots, not to lose weight, but just to maintenance, just for those, not even for maintenance. It is for all of you, the health, for like your heart health, for now my mind is,
So let me kind of run through some of this with you. So it has reduction in inflammation. So there's this whole longevity side when it comes to like arthritis and those kinds of elements, that there's a great added effect from this medication with that, right? There's continued reduction in A1C. So that's the diabetic control stuff. So you get better control of the insulin, sugar, play that's going on. Blood
pressure stays down
in the body. Yep. So that has circulation effects, improved circulation of the tissue, better oxygenation. You're getting increased regulation in this energy balance. So people are finding that they have more energy than they normally would be. And that's because you're increasing what's called your basal metabolic rate, because of increased muscle mass, decreased fat, and all this kind of stuff. So there's this prolonged effect that seems to have so many great side effects. And that's what I love about medications, is like they develop these medications for one reason, and then they find the side effect profile works even better than they were expecting. Like my favorite example to share with people is that originally Viagra was developed as an antihypertensive. It was a blood pressure medicine. But then all of a sudden, all these guys were thrilled with the side effects of being able to counter, erectile dysfunction stuff. And so all of a sudden they're like, we could make way more money in this other industry if we just pivot and go this other direction. So yes, this initially was an anti-diabetic medicine. So you are going to get diabetic control with it, but you're also going to experience these awesome weight loss experiences and all these other effects when it comes to like circulation, healthiness. We have a friend of ours, he was dealing with a lot of pre-diabetic stuff, a lot of endocrine concerns, got on this medication. All that stuff's gone by the wayside. He isn't on any other medication anymore like he used to be. So what a great success experience for him.
And also, like, if you heard what I was saying, I've been researching this for a year. And now I'm going to get on the shot. So it's not like I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do it. I'm getting on the bandwagon. Like, I know right now it's trendy and it's popular. There's so many influencers. There's so many billboards going down the freeway of all these shots and do this, that, and the other. I've done the research. I want you to do what's best for you, but I can assure you that what I am talking about is, it's not like I just clicked on a site and I'm like just reading it to you and you need to do this for some whatever reason. Like, I've done the research. I am going to get back on the shots because of all those other recent reasons. I know I'm not going to gain, gain any more weight because my lifestyle now has changed so significantly. So it's going to be a very small microdose. And it's going to be, just a couple times a month. But I know, because I've done this research, like, it is so important that we stay on these shots for these other things besides just weight loss, the added benefits.
The added benefits. And I think that's what some people are scared of, is they're afraid of getting on this medicine because they're like, I don't want to be on a medicine for the rest of my life, because there's that fear that there's a dependence on, I'm only going to be healthy because of this medication. And it's like, but if you were told that you needed to eat vegetables and proteins every day for the rest of your life to have a healthier lifestyle, like, that's just a no-brainer. Of course we're going to do that kind of stuff, So it's not like we're dependent on this medication for the success, but if there is great benefits from taking this medication, wouldn't you want that? You
Right.
know, it's just so weird. There's this mind trip that plays with people where they're like, I don't want to tell people I'm on this medication because it's like, I feel like I'm cheating, or I feel like I'm,
Well,
manipulating.
that's kind of like the popular Hollywood thing. They're like, who's on semaglutide? Like, I've done it naturally. Listen, I was on the shots for 9 months and I lost the 70 pounds. And I only lost that weight because of the Manjaro shots.
Right.
It helped as a woman, as an older woman. It is incredibly difficult to lose weight. And it just got me over that little hump. And then my body, like before, I could not run. I could not lift weights. Are you kidding me? My body, I was active, but I was not active like that. And now I'm like, wait a minute, I can run and my knees don't hurt. My back doesn't hurt. And my boobs aren't, I lost so much weight in my chest that I'm like, oh my gosh, like it doesn't hurt my chest to run. Like there was so many benefits from doing it. So yes, I became more active because of it, but it was because of the shots. So when people are like, oh, that's cheating. No, 100% it's not. I am healthier and I'm going to live longer because I took the Manjaro shots several years ago and I lost that weight. Like, and now I'm like still putting in the work. Like it is still work. You're still watching what you're eating. Right. You're still trying to be active and whatever that is, going to the gym or just walking up and down the street, like whatever that is for you. There's still like, I hate when people are like, oh, you did it that way. That's cheating. 100% no. Like I worked my butt off and I still work. I was just going to the gym this morning, yesterday. I'm like, I'm still active. Like, do you want to get to all the questions now?
Yeah, let's answer some questions. And again, if anybody who's on the live has some questions they want to throw up, please feel free to do it.
So one person said, what about any side effects? So I have heard that some people's side effects, like their hair thins out, some
GI stuff.
The GI stuff. Yeah. A lot of people, that was like the main one. I know for the hair, you might be on too high of a dose. Again, there's always like, so it could be so many answers. Like, how long have you been on it? What is the dose you're on? What's your weight? What's your height? Like all the information.
Can I never had an idea on that too? I also think it's a need to increase protein. So what's happening is that the body will try to grab the energy from wherever it can. The easiest place to get protein from is from the muscle, from the hair, some of those other, easy places. Fat is probably the hardest thing to burn to get the sugar that the body wants. If you increase your protein intake, though, you're telling the body, we want to build proteins. We want to build muscle. We want to build hair, nails, all those kind of things. So you're going to see improvement in those stuff just by increasing your protein intake versus, necessarily changing much other stuff. But yeah, there could be something going on with those too.
A guy friend was pretty strong and he was like, I want to be on these shots because I need to lose weight. He lost 100 pounds, FYI.
Yeah.
But I'm nervous because I don't want to lose my muscle. And I'm like, you won't lose muscle if you're eating correctly, what Scott said, if you're getting enough protein, drinking a lot of liquids. He ended up within a year, he lost 100 pounds, but he is like,
he's jacked.
And he is jacked. And I'm like, I told you, like, why do you not believe me? I told you this would work for you, So yes, that is true. Okay. Next question. The main difference between tirzepatide and semaglutide, I feel like we've kind of answered that. Doesn't this medication have to be prescribed? Yes. So if you go to a med spa or your local doctor, or even through Ellie MD, you have to get that medical assessment. That is that's the check of the doctor. So yes, you have to get a medical prescription for this medication. Absolutely.
And I also know that a lot of people, they already have family care providers, so they already have doctors they're connected with. They're like, why can't I just get this through them? And you can.
Yeah.
The thing you need to understand, though, is most of those doctors, because they're so busy, it's hard for them to get access to supplies like these that are cheaper options. So they're going to go with the easier option to prescribe, which is the Manjaro, which is like $500 to $1,000 a month. Most people can't afford that, right? Or the Zepbound, or some of these other semaglutide options. So, yes, you can go to your doctor and get this medication, but it's not going to be the same thing necessarily. It's going to be a lot more costly. But
yeah. I know a lot of these are the same things. Will I gain my weight back? Yeah, you will probably gain your weight back if you don't make it a lifestyle change. Like there's so many factors of who you are as a person and what you're doing. Like if you're eating 3 cheeseburgers, well, yeah, you're going to 100% lose it back. But again, if you, and I don't want anyone to feel like they're on a diet, but they do need to watch what they eat to a certain extent. Like you can still have your cheeseburger, just take your husband out or your best friend and like cut it in half and get a big, huge salad to split as well. Like there's other things you can do. So yes, Scott and I both can gain all our weight back. If I just sat on the couch and watched TV and ate a whole bag of potato chips, yes, you can. But again, it's a
lifestyle change,
lifestyle choice. Like it's proactive. You have to like work at it. Along with that, any special diet, beside, like, what else should I do with making it not a diet? And I feel like you nailed it on the head with your protein. Make sure you're eating a lot of protein, make sure you're drinking a lot of water, and yes, moving your body, gym or in your neighborhood, whatever, pickleball to aerobics in your house, like whatever it is for you, you should be moving your body to a certain extent.
I think hydration's huge too. A lot of counteracting the constipation stuff. It's just because, again, you're not eating a whole lot because you're not craving food. Well, we also tend to not drink nearly enough. So, make sure that you're just really downing those water bottles, staying hydrated.
They said shot location.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about
I only did my shot location in my belly fat. Now, I did have a couple of friends that were like, I kind of get sick when I put it in my belly. And so they started doing it in their inner thigh, kind of where the fattier part of your thigh is, and would put their shot there. And then they're like, I didn't have any nausea or any GI problems or issues. You did both. Didn't you do both?
Yeah, I've done stomach. To be honest, stomach's easier to access most of the time because, like, if I'm wearing pants or whatever. But I did try the leg, and I think there were weeks when I was using the leg that I didn't feel like I had nearly as many side effects. So, yeah.
This person said she started taking the shots a couple of months ago, and then all of a sudden she started getting nausea. What do I do? And again, I think we've kind of talked about this. Like, make sure what are you eating? What is your dose at? Maybe you need to lower your dose a smidge. Maybe Zofran. You could take some medication, more water. What do you think, honey? Any additional stuff?
I mean, definitely the water thing seems to be helpful, with my pregnant patients who are getting the nausea and stuff. We definitely push hydration. I think that's important. But also like more veggies, things that are just meant to kind of calm down the stomach. Because what you're probably experiencing isn't nausea from the medication. It's hunger cramps. Again, you're forgetting you're hungry. And so you don't feel hungry, but you're getting some of this nausea and cramping, probably more so because your body's like, hey, you forgot to eat for the last 6 hours because you're not hungry, So maybe checking to see how frequently are you eating. Is it time maybe to get a snack, a handful of nuts or, some of the healthy fats or something.
Yeah. The sixth one says, my husband and I need to lose 10 to 20 pounds. Can we just get the medication together? Yes and no. So when you fill out the medical assessment, it's for one person.
Right.
Now, Scott has a bottle of it in my fridge. I could just take some out and use it. So yeah, you can, but then you're not getting that one-on-one. I don't know. What do you think, Scott?
So as a medical professional, I have to say that it's not right to share prescriptions because it's prescribed a certain way because of that person to who it's prescribed for. Now, with that being said, do I have Zofran in our cabinet that was prescribed for Lori that I sometimes give myself or our kids when they're feeling nauseous because it helps? Yes. So can there be sharing? Yes. It's, I think, more appropriate if you try to get the vials so that you each have the appropriate amount that you're going to need. I don't want you to run out because it's going too quickly.
And it stays in your fridge. So,
but yeah, it's tricky.
That's a tricky one. I know technically Scott can't say, yeah, share it. Yeah. I know it's hard. And then the last question someone asked about drops. So this is tricky.
New today, I heard.
I've heard about drops for a while, and I've heard about stickers. I mean, they're chewables. I heard so many. There's nothing as best as sticking that needle in your gut and just giving it to yourself, right? But just today, there is a conference that I am going to be attending on Zoom that talks about the drops that are, because the drops work, but again, it's like the semaglutides down here and the tirzepatides. The shots are, I mean, the drops are down here and the stickers. Like, does it kind of help? But yes, but the tirzepatides up here. Well, this lecture that I'm going to is telling me, well, they're
We'll
saying
see.
that it's
We'll
up
see.
here with the tirzepatide. So as of right now, I don't know that information, but I know they work. Everything works, but the potency is the one is going to be fluctuating.
Yep.
But I will share tonight or tomorrow my feelings of if the drops. I know they work. Do they work up here with the tirzepatide?
Well, and again,
right now I'm not sure, but they say it does. So
yeah, that's what I love about Ellie MD too, is when I was looking at their catalog of products, there's so many different supplements out there for various things. Like you said, sex, weight loss, longevity, so many different things. As our bodies age, our bodies need to help re-regulate and better balance stuff. But I also noticed there's not just shots, there's nasal sprays, pills, other options, because there are a significant portion of our society that is, I'll just say it, shot adverse, meaning they don't like the idea of putting a needle inside their body. And that's fine. I mean, there's people who have tattoos that say they hate getting shots when they come to the emergency room. And I'm like, but you've gotten all these tattoos. Like, it doesn't make sense. But for whatever reason, when it comes to medicine and shots, and maybe it's trauma from us as kids getting shots held down and like poked and stabbed, that is being re-stimulated. But it's hard for a lot of people to wrap their minds around the idea of giving themselves a shot. I think it was hard for you at first to even think about the idea of giving yourself a shot.
And then sometimes I'm like, did that even work? I can't even feel it.
Didn't even feel it.
It is easier to have a bottle of whatever, nasal spray, drops, pills, stickers in my purse, and be like, oh, I got to do that one thing and hurry, put it on, or hurry and pop a pill. The shot, you have to take your swab and clean your area, and then you have to fill the vial up, and then you have to give it to you, and they have to there's a process. It's a little bit longer, detailed. It works better. It goes, I feel like it works. So I'm excited to learn more, and I will.
Could be.
I will share. And I will tell you the truth. I'm not going to be like, you guys should all do this. It doesn't work. I'm not ever going to do that. No one can pay me money to lie to you guys. I will never do that. So I will give you all my information about that, but that's coming. That's today. I'm excited.
Yeah. More excitement.
They asked. Did anyone else online have any questions?
No, I haven't seen any questions online. I do think that some people are nervous to post questions because they know I'll throw it up on the screen. They might be worried that I don't want to be shamed because I asked a stupid question. First off, there's no such thing as a stupid question. But Lori and I are available. We're a great resource. So if you feel more comfortable reaching out to us on Instagram and DMing us questions, Lori's always great at responding to those.
I was just looking right now if there's any new messages, but there's not. So,
but also we want to be part of your story, your experience. So as much as we love Scott and Lori's amazing weight loss story, we also want to learn about John's and Diana's and all these other people out there that are going to have amazing stories. So
also this sale is going on until just the 31st. And then the prices, they do have different sales for different products that go on quite often throughout the year. But this one was all for July for the discounted rate for the tirzepatide. Put the other,
let me put that slide back up.
It's the one that's on sale right now.
Yeah.
That this sale ends on the 31st. So if you have a question, DM me. If you want more information, DM me about this. But this sale does end tomorrow.
Yeah. And what I love about it, from what I've heard, you are locking in this 3-month rate. So you're paying this per month. But you are also locking it in for as long as you decide to keep doing this. So even after the sale ends, getting locked in at this today or tomorrow doesn't mean a month from now it's all of a sudden going to go back up to the other prices. Like, you're locking this in for however long you are going to be on it, which is awesome. So we already ordered it. It's part of our plan. So
and I ordered it. I am paying money. They gave me no free product. That's another thing I like to share when I'm talking about whatever, shoes or a bag. I'm like, I bought this. I love this product. I'm using this product. So yes, I have gotten nothing for free from Ellie MD. I had to pay that exact price. The $379 is what Scott and I paid. Scott paid the because he's on that
I'm
one,
a
but I
higher-
got the microdosing, so I got the
Yep.
lower one. Anyways, we paid that. I never got any product free for them. And they actually, that was one of my questions. Do you give influencers free product or a better discount? And they were like, no, everyone is even in the same, which I love because I am smaller. I'm a micro influencer, and I didn't want someone that came in with whatever 500,000 followers and they're like, I need a 20% off code for my. No, so you'll never get that. So if someone else is selling Ellie MD, it's not a better rate, which that's another thing I love about the company, and other companies don't do that. So they're not in it for the money. They're in it for changing lives.
Yeah, which I love.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and join us in a couple weeks for Amazing Race. We'll get back on and start doing some Amazing Race stuff. So that's exciting.
Yeah. We love you guys. Yep. Thanks for tuning in.
Yep.
Take care.